Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon. It's anime.
Oh, this is not the typical lineup.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Animeshun. Squad is somewhat back in effect, but we got some beautiful and special guests. Let me just introduce everybody.
Yes,
Rob's
sir.
here. Brennan.
I'm not the beautiful special
I
guest.
can't
You're
shit.
lovely.
I'm not beautiful either.
Rob is, yeah,
He
Rob and
works
Brennan are
with
definitely
this.
not. She was like, Rob is beautiful. He's
Oh,
a
thank
beautiful
you.
man.
Appreciate that.
Love his voice. But we also had some special guests today. No Ice today. He'll be back probably next week.
He ain't shit.
Well, let's introduce Q first. Q, how are you doing?
Hey, y'all, I'm doing pretty good. I'm still quarantining myself, actually, now that I am a fully self-employed freelancer.
Hey, congratulations on
congratulations.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah, you know, we had Q on the podcast before. What episode do you have you on? We had you on an episode about a movie, right?
Berserk.
Yeah.
Berserk.
Yeah.
Berserk Part 1.
hey,
Yeah.
Yeah, Berserk
I'm
Part
sorry.
1.
I'm sorry. That's what you had to be on with us. Man.
It was her choice. How are you going to do her like
She
that?
picked it.
I stand by my
Damn.
statement.
She chose that.
Oh,
I stand
Brennan.
by
Brennan's
my
coming for
statement.
everybody.
My God.
Brennan is.
I want the
He
smoke.
stay
What's
on
up?
10. He
Yeah, I
stay on
see.
10.
I see.
All right, and now we have another lovely guest today.
Lovely.
Comedian, anime connoisseur. Did I say that right?
No,
Connoisseur.
connoisseur.
Connoisseur. Before the podcast, I had something in my goddamn teeth. She didn't say a damn word
I
about
thought
it.
he had a fucked up tooth, y'all,
But
and I
thank
didn't
you,
want to be rude.
my good
could
friend
happen.
Brennan
We out
did
here.
let me know, so I wasn't on camera looking like a jackass.
You're a good man, King. You're a good man.
But the funny and talented Roxy.
Thank you. Do I have to say what I do?
Yeah, what you do, Roxy? What
Oh.
do you do out here in these streets?
Oh, I'm sorry. I also smoked right before. I apologize.
So she smokes.
She
yeah,
smokes?
oh yeah. So I am a producer for All Def Gaming and All Def Cannabis.
Very cool.
Oh, nice.
I am
cool.
also
Oh.
a writer.
All Def Gaming.
Yeah.
You haven't had me on?
Brennan, you don't fuck with me.
What you mean? I don't fuck with you. Like Pat had me on, and I was whooping everybody's ass, and I was like, "Hey, I have
I'll
to go."
bring you back on, Brennan.
Super Smash Brothers don't nobody want to smoke.
Oh, I'll link you up with Brody. Brody be whooping everybody ass. In fact,
He
Ooh, I do
knows-
want
Me-
to see this.
He probably
Wait,
knows
let
who
me-
I am.
let
He
me-
probably
let
knows
me
who I
message
am.
I think you had
this
I know
He
Brody
knows
is.
who I
Okay.
am.
I love
I'm
Brody.
pretty sure Brody knows
Wait,
who
let
I
me
am.
make
He's
sure
been to
knows.
the studio, and I think
I don't think
Brennan
You
and
smoked
him have
Brody out
talked.
before? Oh, you did?
No, I mean like when I played on the All Def Gaming one time, they started with like a one-on-one tournament.
Okay.
And like I was playing while someone else was talking to me the first match, and he barely won. And then the second match, they're like, let's do this group like 2-on-2 thing. And he was the team that we played against, the best 2 out of 3, and I smoked his ass.
You know, I gotta rock you in something because Brennan be talking a lot of shit.
Oh, that's
He
what
does.
no, the thing is,
This is-
no, it's
this
real.
is-
No, the thing is, it's cool. I talk a lot of shit, but ask around if I back it up or not. Just
Okay,
ask.
Brennan,
Ask
say
about me.
less. I'm about to Tekken or something. I'm gonna rock your ass.
You do not want Tekken.
Shit, you don't want Tekken.
Look,
you
this
don't
guy,
want Tekken.
I'm telling you, this guy right here does not lie. Ask him about me in fighting
Hey,
games.
hey, ask about me in fighting games.
He don't even know you.
I would
That's the
love to
point.
see this.
I want to rock you just for
wanna
just
see
for
that
I
the
agree.
story.
I would love to see you in Tekken.
Brennan need to get rocked. But also
I will lay the
lay your ass out, Brennan. We didn't have beef before the show, which we will discuss later. I'm also a writer and editor for The Gamer, which is a gaming online magazine. I also am a cosplayer, so I cosplay professionally. I do stand-up comedy. I do regular comedy. I also rap, so I have my second mixtape is coming out in a couple of months.
You do hair?
And I do hair sometimes. I do my own hair. Stay on my story, Brennan. I do my own hair because
And I do her. Sorry, I can't help it.
I do sometimes, and I do
That was a
something
joke,
else.
and you actually said yeah. that
But
was
just I
amazing.
did this, but now
black women do a
You know,
little
we
bit of
got to do
hair.
all of it. I act and stuff. I have some short films that are coming out soon that I was in. I'll be trying to make sure I say everything. And
Nice.
I
Okay,
think
so
that's it.
are you going to
I think that's
cosplay
it.
this year for Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con?
Fuck. Okay, so it's so hard to get in there. So I'm gonna try to.
Yeah.
I'm going to BlurCon this week actually, which is in Virginia.
I'm so jealous.
Oh, you're not going?
Nah. My
I
phone's
didn't
not set
even
up
know
like
it
that.
Why you ain't message me? We'll talk. I'll get you. Okay, so we can handle that. But yeah, it's an all black con, and it's like the second or third year. It got canceled last year, so it's primarily for black people, and I'm super hyped
That's dope.
about it.
I want to
Yeah.
pull up on that.
Yeah.
Come on, it's in DC.
Wait, when is it?
It's this Friday.
This weekend.
Oh, shit.
All right, well, it's messed up because I'm actually gonna be working in DC like in 2 weeks.
Ah,
Well,
just come back.
Damn.
Just come on.
I wish it was that simple.
Okay, so I mean, we gotta stay linked up then for.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we got so many mutual friends anyway. We gotta stay linked up for at least for next year. Then.
Oh yeah,
for
definitely.
sure.
And there's some other cons that I'm gonna be going to. So like, I'll hit y'all up because they always looking for podcasts and stuff too. Look at us networking online.
Very
Let's make
cool.
it
Yeah,
happen.
it's happening.
I'm here for it.
This is the
All
show.
right. All
So
right.
are you still gonna be cool with us if I smoke you in Tekken?
Bro, I'm gonna whoop your ass. We'll be friends. That's on you.
Okay,
Like
nice.
Tekken, Mortal Kombat, any fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom. Let's
Ooh,
go.
now that's Keenan's game.
That's
Keenan,
my
I'll whoop
game.
your ass. Please. just
we
let's
actually
go.
got that game in there.
Let's
we can do
go.
after
Wait, can you
the
play
show.
on the arcade sticks or
I
the
love those,
joysticks?
but I'm not great.
That's how I am too. I can't play on the arcade sticks. But if you give
I'm
me a
an
hand,
arcade
Yeah.
person.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to.
he can handle you on the arcade sticks. I'll tell you right now.
He can't get these real hands though.
That's what I say, but he refused. It hasn't happened yet.
But can you whoop my ass?
But
That's
can you
what I'm
whoop
saying.
my ass?
No. So yes, I do a plethora of things, but
Okay.
anime and all of like.
I really
nerd
want you to
culture's my main
win.
thing.
I do.
Shut up. Man.
It just hasn't happened.
So I mean, like we said, we had Q on here before. Let's get into some of the anime. What got you into anime, Q?
Actually, I'm probably the oldest person on this goddamn show. I've been watching anime since what was my gateway? I think it was Sailor Moon, but like
Ooh.
hardcore was what's that damn shit? Not Ninja Scroll. I saw it
Oh,
on
yeah.
MTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a show called Liquid Television, and they showed
Yep.
little snippets and stuff. And I saw the scene where they were fighting in the bamboo. I said, "Oh, I got to find this whole piece of shit." And I found it at Blockbuster Music, and Blockbuster Video, and it was over. And I've been in the anime game ever since.
Okay.
Very nice. Yeah, classic.
That is a class. We reviewed that on here and got shitted on, didn't we?
Yeah, well, people thought because we posted on like Ninja Scrolls the movie, and
Oh,
people
yeah.
thought that it was a post of Ninja Scroll the movie and not a review of the movie.
And they
Yeah,
gave
y'all
us
should've got
mad thumbs
They were
down
just like,
for
"Where's
that.
the movie?" It's just
Well,
a bunch
y'all
of people
deserved
talking
it.
about it.
Y'all
It's like,
deserved
all right,
that.
we retitled it.
Yeah,
We
okay,
did retitle
okay.
it,
Yeah.
but I mean the damage has been done.
Yeah, it's been done.
That's still funny though.
So people, like, if you're listening, do your work. Go out there, tip the scales back in the other direction. We're on the up and up now.
All right, Roxy, what got you into anime? What was the anime that got you in?
So my first like the anime that I watched religiously was, I think, and that's for like most nerds my age, is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Because it's come on Toonami,
Right.
and I just love the fight scenes and stuff like that. The story, of course, is not the best. We know that.
Yeah.
But like
Goku is the best father.
Yo, like people be playing. Goku is a good. Like he trained his sons to be able to fight in the world that they live in.
He trained one of his sons.
We
Stop
did a
it.
worst
Don't-
fathers episode. Was
don't play with me.
Goku your choice for worst
yeah, I was
dad?
completely joking. I
Brennan,
can't
bro,
believe
this is
she
your
went down on
second
him.
time in like 30 minutes. I
Obviously,
feel like you gotta.
we have some
you gotta-
unresolved issues.
We do. I have a fucking Goku tattoo on my thigh.
Yeah, but he's a terrible father.
I don't. Well, he's sexy, so I don't care. Fuck them kids.
Fuck them
okay.
Dude's
He
ripped.
did-
I don't know.
'cause
No, I mean for the
if-
record, that's a really
if we're
solid
getting
argument.
into it, he didn't even want them fucking kids. Chi was that man didn't know what sex was. That's what I'm saying. So like, yeah, he's not a
Here you
great
go.
father. He didn't know. It's not molestation,
You
but
are-
low key.
This is like the worst way that we can get into like today's episode.
I know. Oh, you're right. I'm
Like,
so
this is
sorry.
like-
Good point.
No, I'm just
Right.
saying for you.
Yeah.
For your arguments moving forward, you are not helping your arguments right now. Let me defend Goku as a man and a father. All right, cool. Now let's talk about some harassment, guys.
I
Like,
mean, low key though, but
you're
yeah,
like Chi-Chi's actually the reason. She should be blamed.
she should. He didn't know, but other than that,
Mind of a
course,
child,
You
yeah.
Thank you, but Inuyasha, all of the Toonami.
Mind of a
Well, that's what
teenager.
we're gonna get into next. What animes are you guys into now? So let me go to Q, then we'll get back to this
Ooh,
beat.
Brennan.
But Q, what are you watching right now? What are you into right now?
Oh man. Okay. This is my argument about new anime. It's so much coming out at once. I get overwhelmed, and that's why
Yeah.
I've been going back to the old shit.
Best problem ever though.
But
Yeah.
what have I been watching?
Jujutsu
I like
Kaisen?
Mars Red. Yeah, I like that too.
Okay.
But
Would you
Mars
say-
Red is pretty good.
Mars
Mars
Red?
Red. What is that on? Is that on Netflix? Is it on?
That's on
Random?
Funimation.
Funimation.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's Rob's favorite platform.
Hey man, I saw somebody else pointing out today on Twitter they were having some Funimation problems where they were just like already asking for like, hey, how was your customer service experience? Like, well, I sent in a thing and then nobody ever responded, so that's how it's going. And
I'm gonna
that
fuck around and go knock on their door because they like they in Farmers Branch. They like 20 minutes away from me.
oh
Like,
yeah, so you just show
That
up.
shit is stalling.
Yeah, we buried the hatchet, me and Funimation, but no, I've had some bad experiences with them.
Yeesh.
Yeah, man.
So what you into right now, right? What you watching on?
Ooh, I got a list. So first, I forgot to do this. Shout out to I'm actually working with Sentai Filmworks. They are the anime company in Houston. They do they do Food Wars and stuff like that. So like
Okay.
Food
Oh,
Wars,
I've heard
I
of
love
Food Wars, yeah.
Food Wars. That's like
Amazing.
chopped. Yeah, it's like chopped in hentai. It's a great anime. It's so fun. Brendan,
I didn't say nothing.
but we
You don't
just
get down with anime titties.
Yo,
I'm not. It doesn't do anything for me.
I got
Anime
anime
does nothing
titties,
for me
son.
sexually.
It's okay. Good
Hentai
for
anime
me.
has never done anything. For
I
me.
love
I need an
it.
adult. She said, I got anime titties.
yeah, this is anime titties. Thank you, non-sexually.
Can I switch seats with that one?
No, Brandon,
You're
look at my
stuck.
titties. So
It's not a great setup for today's topic.
Oh my
At all.
god.
I'm sorry. I'm also
His bald head is blushing.
Oh my God.
but we bonded on Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes.
That is
Yeah.
such it's
Oh,
an
dope.
amazing
Top
anime.
tier
It's
anime.
fire.
Top
That's a
It's
tier.
great
the
show.
story, the character development,
Everything.
they fuck with you. Even like when they were changing like the anime opens.
Yeah.
Like it's little stuff
Yeah.
I didn't even notice at
I
first.
love
The
that shit.
song, the
Yeah.
song is dope.
Yeah.
Did y'all hear how they took the song?
Oh,
off
that
of-
soundtrack's fire too.
Yeah.
They took the song, the ending song, off of all streaming platforms because the dude that played the drums got arrested for like
You can
fraud.
find a version of it
For
though.
fraud?
Yeah.
You can find a version of it that's been re-recorded by
Yep.
like a similar artist.
Wow.
Yep, that's
Wow.
the only way to play it. and
Because I
you
had
just
it,
do
on,
legal
I had it on a
route.
playlist, and then
Me
I was listening to
too.
it, and then it was gone. I'm like, where did the song go?
Yep, because of the dude.
Wow.
You about this life, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the songs that
Yeah.
they put in there.
That's
Especially
Killer
the
Cam.
end
Yeah,
credits
no, that's
music
Killer
is
Cam.
Man, I
fantastic.
get more respect for
Paradise.
Cameron every day.
Yeah. So what is this Inuyasha thing, man?
Okay, so Brendan pissing me off. Right before we started, Brendan was
Is this a
talking
roller
shit.
coaster or is it just me?
No, yeah.
Look
this
at my
is-
titties.
Yeah,
Wow,
this
you
is-
pissing me off. Like, fight me.
This is how I live, Brendan. You want to be my friend?
Like Jujutsu Kaisen. We're great. We bonded. Like, all right, go on.
Brendan, do you want to be cool or not? Because this is what this
I
friendship
don't
will
know
be
what's
like.
happening.
Then you won't ever.
Help.
No, no
I'm
help.
blinking twice.
This is how this goes. So Inuyasha, before we started, Brendan was talking shit about Inuyasha. My home screen is Inuyasha as well as my fucking this screen. It's Inuyasha on here. I just started rewatching it, and
It's worse than you thought?
No, okay, it's better. It's really slow. Like it's super slow.
The slowest moving anime
But
with
I
no
will-
real fights.
That's not true.
They're
There are a
all
lot.
trash.
No, that's not true. There are a lot of
Have you
fights.
ever watched any of the movies?
That's what I'm saying. The movies are really good. The
Yeah.
characters. I like love stories. So like
Okay.
the whole reason I really like it is watching Inuyasha and
No,
Kagome
look, the
fall
thing
in
is,
love.
I'm not. The thing is, I am an Inuyasha hater for me. I'm like, I don't like it. It's not for me. This show was made, obviously. This show was like, they were like, our demographic is young women on
Yes.
this show. And so I'm not a young woman and never have been. And so for me, I'm like, I just can't get into the show. That's
And
all I'm
it's
saying.
fine, but
That's
you said it was bad.
To
You didn't
me.
say
To me. In
add
my
the
opinion,
to
it's
me.
bad.
You better add the to me. All I'm saying is Inuyasha is sexy, as is his brother. And if I could have a sandwich,
He's the only
That's-
character in that show that's dope. His brother is dope.
Summer, he is the best character.
He is
I will
without question
If we're gonna
dope.
agree on anything, he's the best.
His
character
brother is the
on
shit.
there.
But other than that, the show is trash.
She said she's getting a whole Inuyasha back tattoo
yeah, I'm gonna hold that. I want
on
whole
the back.
Why don't you get one on the front too, so you can just be the sandwich like you said?
Ooh, come on, there we go.
I don't think you meant that to be a suggestion, but I mean it works. Yeah.
Like literally, I'm like, I'm thinking.
I
both-
realized
idea.
that
both
the jokes
legs
don't
or
work with her. Like she's just like, yeah, and
I'm
I was
gonna
like,
roll
oh,
with
this is
that.
improv now. I didn't know.
Yeah. Yes, and.
Yeah.
So yes.
All right. So what we're here to do today
We're gonna
is
talk about. We're gonna get into factual actuals about.
yes, we're here to talk about we're structuring a conversation around Castlevania.
Yeah.
The first season, which technically is the first 4 episodes. So I'm just going to talk
Yeah.
through some factual actuals. There's a lot of depth to this, so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as I can. But it's a lot. It's a gothic horror action adventure video game is how it started. In 1986, it was originally released on a system called Nintendo Family Computer Disk System. Has anyone ever heard of that?
Yes.
What do you know about that, Keenan?
Wait, say that again.
Nintendo Family Computer Disk System.
Oh no, I actually don't know about that.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's not NES.
Yeah.
It is the precursor to NES that only actually came out in Japan.
Gotcha.
And the biggest difference between this is obviously they just had better microchips and better game cartridges that came with the NES. And the big issue with it was that you couldn't actually, and this is just because I nerded out on it after, I went into a lot of rabbit holes on this because there's a lot of things.
Hey, fair.
But the Nintendo Family Computer Disk System couldn't allow you to save games in any way, shape, or form. So games like Metroid and The Legend of Zelda were not possible on that
yeah.
system. So when the NES came out, like the first versions of the NES the first versions of those games came out on this system, but it had to have a peripheral system to be able to read the cartridges separately.
Wow.
And then when they released it here, then they actually put it all together and called it the NES.
Got it.
So originally, this show was made by Konami, which, if you watch anime or play video games, you know they do all the things. They're a Japanese entertainment, video game, and gambling. Did you know they do a lot of gambling? Yeah, they have a lot of casinos. They probably make more money from the casinos than anything else they do.
I mean, that makes sense.
They have
it
casinos
would
all
make
over the
sense.
world. It's not like, hey, we have a couple casinos in Japan. Like, no, they have a casino
And
conglomerate.
it's named that too? Or just-
Konami, yeah, Konami
It's
Casino.
a game they have too with the gambling. I can't remember what it was called though.
I didn't find that. I don't remember. But I like that you're over here just like, yeah, he's talking. He knows what he's talking about. But yeah, they did like trading card games, anime, Tokusatsu, which I didn't know what that was. Like, they actually make slot machines, like all kind of stuff. What else do we have? There's so much. A lot of games that we know. They like video games that are super famous that they made are like Metal Gear, Castlevania, obviously, Contra, Frogger,
Okay.
Contra, classic.
Yu-Gi-Oh, Pro Evolution Soccer, and like Dance Dance Revolution, Beatmania,
Wow, that one was huge.
yeah, Bomberman.
I love dance.
Adventure Island, like, you know what I'm saying, like Bloody Roar, Star Soldier,
They
like
got
all
some
these
ga-
games are like super classic that
Yeah,
have
they
long,
got some
running
fire.
tenure. And it's hilarious. After I'm saying all those games, they're number 19 when it comes to game companies in the world by revenue, which is
Wow.
like, damn, EA out here killing shit.
Oh yeah.
They number one-
Activision out here is like, nah, run your
Those
run your set.
microtransactions.
Yeah. yeah, that makes sense.
So this game came out in 1986, and the most recent version of it actually came out in 2019. It's called Castlevania Grimoire of Souls. So that's the video game.
Right.
Video game's been out since before I was born.
Yes.
Before some of us on this podcast were born.
Oh, okay.
Oh shady. That was
She was
shady.
like,
that
you,
was shady.
not-
That was for Keenan too, I
okay.
think.
Shady.
What year were you born?
85?
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He was here. It wasn't just you, Q.
Okay.
Don't worry.
She's like, noted.
Oh, take
How
shots?
I handle my
Jot
hip?
this
I don't know. I wasn't even
I
shooting
was
shots
just-
at you. That wasn't for you. That was mostly for Keenan. And they also sold 20 million units, which it puts them in Castlevania, which puts them in a very elite company because most games don't sell that many units.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's like top 100 or 150 games ever. So this show, Castlevania, is an American anime-influenced adult animated streaming television show that was produced by Netflix by a company called Frederator Studios. Now, Frederator Studios isn't someone who I've heard of before, but I'm really mad at myself for that because Frederator
Robot
Studios...
Chicken.
You haven't heard of Frederick?
Frederick.
No, I didn't.
Frederator.
Yeah, so Robot Chicken, Oh Yeah Cartoons, Fairly Odd Parents,
Yep.
My Life
Shit.
is a Teenage Robot,
that show.
Fanboy and Chum Chum. Like it just goes on and on. They do a lot of. They've done a lot.
Yeah.
Nothing that for me fell into the of what this show is kind of like. This is like the most adulty show I've ever seen
Yeah, I
them do.
don't think.
Yeah, nothing else even comes close to it, as far as I know. Like I don't. Some of these shows I didn't know of. It was actually originally produced as a film. And it was developed by a producer guy whose name is Kevin Cold and his company Project 51, which we've heard of before.
Okay.
Cold had a contract for the script with the writer, a writer guy named Warren Ellis. In 2007, the project entered development hell in about 2015, which we all know what that is. Development hell means that it just never gets made and keeps getting rewritten and all that kind of stuff. A person named Adi Shankar, boarded the project and it wasn't picked up by streaming service, and it was picked up by Netflix. Powerhouse Animation Studios joined the team, and production started to happen. The production team included members of the staff who worked in the Japanese anime industry. Now, this is a whole other episode. Is that like, look, does this count as anime? It was made by anime developers. There's anime people who make anime who worked on it, but also a mix of Americans.
Yeah.
Does it go into that? That's a whole different episode that we've had. I'm not going to go into it.
Yeah.
I'm going to withhold my opinion on that.
Because it was originally animated and recorded in English, correct?
Correct.
Right.
So the series was originally planned, like I said, as a film. So the series premiered on Netflix on July 7th, 2017. And the same day was renewed for the second season of 8 episodes. That was
Shit.
hilarious.
I didn't know it was gonna go that fast.
She just dropped in her chair
Yeah, I was
so
trying to
hard,
slide
and then
up
did the,
'cause-
like the flat face, like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, cool.
I didn't think anyone would know
A
this.
10-episode third season was greenlit by Netflix and released on March 5th, 2020, and the series ended with the release of its 4th season on May 13th, 2021. And there's actually a new series or a spinoff that's in the works that will actually focus on Richter Belmont, who is one of my favorite characters to play with in Super Smash Brothers. Who, if you play me against my Richter, you will probably hate me afterwards, as many people can attest to.
Yeah, it sucks. It's not fun.
And Richter is a descendant of Trevor and Sypha, which I probably said her name wrong. And so, yeah. And it's also going to be featuring a person named Maria Renard during the French Revolution is when it's based.
Gotcha.
The series has had a lot of critical and commercial success, It is extremely like it has gotten a lot of stuff. So that for me is how I tried to like summarize the factual actuals.
Right.
There is one aspect of this that I'm gonna just go ahead and do it. You want me to do it now?
Go for it.
Yeah.
So it's Warren, right?
Warren Ellis.
So
yes, sir.
a big part of our episode, a big part of our episode today is going to be dedicated to the discussion around a man named Warren Ellis because he's a very controversial figure. He's also the person who wrote and created this show.
Yeah.
And so he has had a lot of. You know what, Rob? You tell me what happens here.
Well, yeah, I can kind of get into it. This guy has been, a famed comic book writer for a long time. I had read some of his stuff with Transmetropolitan. He also wrote the comic book series that Red, which ended up becoming a movie series with Bruce Willis. And he's written a lot of stuff. Very famous. Recently, though, it came out that many women have accused him of sexual misconduct and grooming young women, mostly his fans, women that work for him, and basically accused him that over a span of 20 years, he was messaging other fans, mostly younger fans, around like the 19 to 20-ish age range, and starting off with friendships and then quickly moving it into sexual nature and sexual territory, and then sometimes promising career furtherance with that, sometimes promising, I can help you with this idea. Sometimes just like, oh, hey, you're a fan of me. Like, you just like be your friend and hang out and we can have this relationship. Oh, by the way, why don't you like send me some nudes? And if there was any sort of, if they didn't want to do that, they would be cut off. Some of these women thought that they were having long-term relationships with this guy, not knowing that he had literally a harem of other women that he was engaging with.
So ugly.
To the point where, these women, once they found out, said that it was impossible for them to have given informed consent to this guy. And so many of them came out and formed this website called SoManyOfUs.com. They had hundreds of women, at least 100 women, reach out and say that they had been a victim of his actions. 60 of those women then went on and published a public statement. 33 of those women then shared messages, like screenshots of emails, text messages, pictures that, he had sent, they had sent, to show of evidence of this guy, honestly, just kind of running the gamut and manipulating these people into sharing their stuff. Female presenting, fans of his that, he just wanted to get what he could and then basically threw them away when he was done with them and whenever they didn't want to, play that game with him anymore. And sometimes, at the expense of their livelihood and their career because he had set them up. Then all of a sudden they didn't have that person. They had no leg to stand on. So they released a statement, which obviously had a very strong reaction. But as part of their statement, they mentioned their goal is not to cancel him. Their goal is not to cancel Warren Ellis. Many of them have said that his work still means a lot to them. They're like, some of us are burning his books. Some of us are keeping his books, and we're not going to let this guy's stuff, like, he's not going to rob what that meant from me. And they're just like, we don't want this guy to be canceled. We're not asking for him to be punished. What we're looking for is to show that this is out there, that this is happening, and show that this is a problem. And we want to engage with him in a conversation. And they've even said, if he ever wants to reach out, we'd be interested in mediating a conversation or in having a mediated conversation with this guy. And there has been quite a backlash. Like I mentioned, he's a comic book writer. He had a title coming out in this year, actually, that, with Image Comics, which they pulled. After the reaction from the fans, they were outraged that they would still be publishing his work. They pulled it. This website, again, SoManyOfUs.com, said, hey, again, we're not trying to get this guy canceled. We want to have an open conversation. And following that, they actually did get a message from Warren Ellis saying, listen, I'm interested in a mediated conversation. What are the next steps? And that's where I know things are right now. So there is some sort of dialogue being engaged between these women that have been victimized by this man and this man himself. And that's kind of where we are today.
All right, let's open the floor to discussion.
Yeah.
Well put, by the way, Rob.
Yeah, very well put. Very heavy. We end up watching the show. Some of us watched the show beforehand. Some of us watched the show after finding out. But we had recommended the show to each other to review, and then we got news. We're just like, oh shit, this is crazy. Do we keep reviewing? So would you still recommend? And after knowing what you know, would you still recommend this show to anybody that hasn't seen it yet? Let's start with Q first.
Yeah. It's kind of on the fence kind of thing, because I know even with the R. Kelly thing, people are like, well, you got to separate the art from the artist, and it's so hard to do that. Once you know all of the traumatic tales, because you while you're watching this or listening to this or XYZ, you're thinking about the person that created it. Like, it's some good shit, but they so fucking dumpster juice human. God damn, I can't even enjoy it sometimes.
Yeah. Mm. Roxy, how do you?
Well, first, nasty stuff aside, I wouldn't I don't watch horror. Like, this isn't like my genre that I indulge in.
Okay.
So like, I've seen an episode, or I've seen the first 2 episodes before because I was messing with this dude that was watching it, but that's neither here nor there. So like, this isn't a show that I would just watch anyway.
Yeah.
So not something I necessarily recommend. And it's just so hard to separate the art from the artist because, like you said, like when you're watching, it's like but then like the allegations of what he's done, we've become so desensitized as well. Because like, I was reading some stuff and like abuse is now on a spectrum. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, he didn't do the worst thing he could possibly do.
Yeah.
But it's still just like, no, what he did was fucked up. Like, he ruined people's careers. Like, he could, you know what I mean? Like, he abused his power. And as a woman in the entertainment industry, it's hard for me to act like that's cool. But it is a very well-written show. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, and just to throw this out here, he's very unattractive. I said it a little bit earlier. And it's just, like, it's just funny whenever, like, I hear stuff. I'm like, I know he's ugly. Like, I know he's not conventionally attractive. And so it's just funny when you, like, are in, because I also forgot I write comic books. I actually had one. Let me just plug this real quick. It just came out. It was all black writers and artists. It's called Noir is the New Black. Let me throw that out there. But so, like, but I'm in, like, I'm starting to get more into that world. And I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to say this in the best possible way. It's a lot of very conventionally unattractive people that have been like, they're socially awkward, they're not used to getting attention, and now they're thrust into this world where like now they're getting attention, now they're getting women that are sexually interested in them that never would have been. Like, if, like, let's be real, if that dude never wrote that stuff, those women would not be attracted to him. You know what I mean? Like, he's ugly. Like, I'm trying.
There's
like,
no filter in there. You're just like,
no, I don't know. That's why I was like, how deep
ugly.
he getting? He's very ugly. So it's just like, it's that dynamic too. Like, it's the power. It's the, like, you feeling like you're important. You feeling like you're wanted. And at, basis of our human, we all want to be desired. So it's that weird thing too. It's like, I get how that could corrupt somebody.
Yeah.
But it's also like, bro, you stop. Like, like, you're fucking up people's, like,
20 years is a long time.
Yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. For, like, you never learned in these 2 decades, like, this isn't cool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
That's always had to be at the core of them. That was a part of them.
Yeah, you were
It just
always
didn't
this
come
nasty
about-
person. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just it was nurtured with
Yeah.
the power.
I think he did learn. He learned that this works. That's what he learned.
Yeah.
Like,
You know?
Yeah.
This approach.
Like all
Yeah.
criminals.
This,
Yeah.
this approach. But it's, so you said like all criminals, but like, I mean, just to play devil's advocate, he didn't break any laws.
That's
So does
why
that,
it's the
so technically
spectrum
he's not a
thing.
criminal.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying
Yeah.
technically that's an incorrect statement because he's not a criminal. He didn't break no laws.
That's
Yeah.
true.
He was
didn't do
just
anything against-
manipulating and
He's an asshole, horrible human being, but that doesn't make you a criminal.
Yeah, and I wasn't calling him a criminal. I'm
Yeah.
saying same as criminals. They
Yeah,
continue to
they
commit
do that.
crimes.
Once
they know
I
it
haven't
works,
I haven't
yeah.
got caught yet.
and it just sucks because then it's like, those women, where do they go? You know what I mean? Like, what happens? Like you said, like, some of them can't do the things that he promised. Like, they thought they were going to be able to do stuff. And we're all creatives. We know how it feels. Like, when you think you're going to get an opportunity and for it to just plummet, and then the fact that it plummeted because you didn't want to have sex with somebody.
Yeah,
right.
Like, you know, like that.
And so some of the cases, it was like some people even they said he was even dating seriously. They actually had a relationship, and then after they kind of like broke it off, kind of just like, well,
Fuck you.
so am I just getting this opportunity still? Why would I do that?
Yeah,
this is
it's
over, and that's where it's like
trash.
we were talking earlier about it. It was just like he's a fuckboy. Like,
Definitely.
like he is a
So cool.
grade A fuckboy in the way he went about a lot of this stuff. But Brennan, like, I guess to pose you to the question, would you, in watching this, did you say you watched
I've seen the first 3 seasons.
first 3 seasons?
Yeah.
Okay, and this is all beforehand.
Yeah, I saw it all before I knew any of that.
Right. Would you you showing this picture right now?
Yeah, he's just so ugly. I was,
She's like, he's hideous.
but yes, go ahead.
Would you recommend this show now knowing what you know?
Yes. Yes, I would. Mostly from an artistic standpoint of like, I just thoroughly enjoyed it. It's some of the best animation I've seen in anything. When you get into season like 3, like the end of season 2 and season 3, it's some of the best animation I've seen in anything. Some of my favorite, most relatable characters in Trevor Belmont and whatever the way I watched it a long time ago, so I remember the lady's name.
The
but like,
magical lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, she
she's
was
cool.
dope.
no, she's probably my favorite character.
She's actually pretty dope.
Some with an
Um,
S.
He said
It's
something
It's something with an S.
Cypher,
something.
Cypher,
something.
Yeah, they don't say names
There's
very
something
much
weird
in
to
that show,
say,
randomly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, for me, I was just like, it was a very enjoyable. Like, I watched this show on airplanes because you can download it on Netflix.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, if you're gonna be traveling, this is it. Like, you're gonna be glued to it. It's gonna be a good time, and it's fun. And I got Cameron up on it too. And
No, I got you up on it.
you got me on. I thought,
Ooh.
okay.
Yeah. Cameron's
Yeah.
the first person I knew that watched it like
Okay.
when it first,
No, I don't
first came
remember.
out.
So that's
When it
I
first
own
first
that.
came out, he actually
Yeah,
recommended
because
it.
I
And we actually
followed
reviewed it.
Addy, one of the original producers for it, before he even made Castlevania, and heard that he was making it. I was like, oh, this could be dope because the other content he's made is dope.
Right.
So.
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's dope. And so for me, it's like I like to share dope experiences. I put a grain of salt on it. Just say, hey, just so you know.
This dude's a creep.
Yeah, the dude who made it.
Yeah.
The dude who made it is like really creepy. Well, actually, the thing that separates it from me, it's not like this is like, oh man, do you like Roger Federer, the tennis player who plays by himself on that court? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
This is a whole team of people
Yeah.
that spend
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands of hours together to make one piece of content. You know, it's not just him. And so for me to say like all the rest of those people's work doesn't matter now because he's an asshole who technically didn't break any laws, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to say he's a piece of shit. He probably deserves to get his ass beat, but
Yeah,
I
somebody
still
needs
recommend the
fire.
show because it's fire. You know what I'm saying? So that
Run
for
that-
me,
run that fade, homie.
That's most of the time. That's all people need is an ass whooping, and I feel like
Exactly.
we got to start going back to corporal punishment. Start sliding people.
that actually happened to me in
So
like
what-
the UK. It's just like
Somebody
one
slid
of
you?
my
Oh.
friends was just like, yo, the problem with people here is that ain't nobody punches anybody in the face anymore.
That's
And
real.
then immediately
For
after he
real.
told me that, like a woman literally just like I had my seat and I was sitting there. I got up to go get something to drink and came back, and she moved my plate out of the way and just sat down, like on my stuff. And I was like, excuse me, ma'am. She's like, what of it? And I'm just like, oh wow.
Not what of it.
I wish I was a woman right now.
Oh, should have rocked her. Should have rocked her shit.
No,
Well, you're a man.
Roxy,
I'm
no.
sorry. I'm sorry. No, I would have.
Brennan
sometimes
showed
you
the
gotta-
correct restraint
Yeah,
in
you're
that
right. I'm
moment.
sorry. I'm so happy I'm a woman. Like,
we it's a Texas thing.
yo,
It's
look,
a-
Yeah.
look, that guy, like, oh, bitch, what of it? I'll rock you with them
Anybody
beans.
can get it.
Anybody can get it.
But I understand Brendan's stature. He probably wouldn't even hurt her. But look, it's understandable.
Damn.
This is
You know what? You know what?
I
Hey,
love
you know
it
what? Let me
here.
apologize right now. Let me apologize. Brendan was the only one that looked out for me before
Yeah,
on this
that's-
podcast.
see, that's why you
I
shouldn't have did that,
apologize, Brendan. I'm
Brendan.
It's
sorry.
like we are similarly
about saying,
sized
y'all the
human
same
beings.
size
We're
and
like
build.
almost exactly the same size.
And he
Keenan.
Not
actually
at all.
got a little bit more muscle too. If we're just being
That's not. That's
objective,
not.
I'm
That's
looking
not,
at.
that's
it.
not true at all.
I'm physically seeing it.
That's not
How
true.
much do you weigh, Keenan?
175.
I'm a $180.
You buck Eddie?
Ooh.
You, but I'm in shape.
Wow.
I'm
He
out of
got a
shape. I didn't
muscle.
know
I'm
that.
sorry, he touching you.
He's teaching me things right now,
I'm
so
not
I'm
going to
horribly
jail.
out of shape. I didn't know
Hey,
that, Keenan.
Rob,
Thank you
Stay
for
out of it.
educating me.
Stay out of
How
it.
about
Bullets,
how about
the
how
shots
about we
being
how about we
fired out
spar
onto
or
you,
go on a run and do
ricochet.
something athletic?
Yeah, I know. This
He's out of shape.
We can do that. I don't care.
I'm in.
Ooh, I'll beat all your asses though. Except Q, because you're delightful.
Understandable. Understandable.
We literally just had a discussion about Brendan. All right, whatever. Literally said I was in incredible shape a few weeks ago, and then all of a
I
sudden
said you're looking good because you used to not look good. So
God
it's just like
damn.
it's a comparison thing. I was trying to give a Negro. Look, you try to give a Negro a compliment. This is what the fuck
Yo,
happens.
where
I'm
my
like, yo, you look
pops
good. Yeah,
at?
Brendan, you out of shape. You ain't shit. You can't handle me. He's way less stature than me.
I didn't say
You
any
said
of
I'm
that.
less stature. You said I'm out of shape.
I just-
Yes, you did.
You
You
did
literally
say
just
that,
said that
Kenny.
on
You
tape.
said it.
Man.
Shut
You
the fuck
said
up.
it.
Keep the
Brendan,
podcast going.
Safely out of
Brennan,
Brennan's crosshairs
Oh
at
my
this point.
God.
Saying, like, why did you come from me?
When somebody gets that defensive,
You can come get it. That's all I'm
Oh
saying.
my God.
that sounds
Oh
I
like
my
always
God.
feel like I'm at a funeral.
that
Yo.
sounds like
People come for you at funerals.
Yo.
he was hurt,
I
You
was
should
hurt.
apologize.
I was 100%
and I
hurt.
immediately
Aw.
apologized.
And
You
I
didn't
still
look him in
shake
the
your
eye.
And you
hand.
still went in.
He
No,
took
you
umbrage.
apologize. No, you apologized and then said I didn't say those things that you literally just
Yeah,
said.
you
No.
tried to gaslight
What I
him.
said is that I didn't say I will beat you up or nothing like that. You said you added extras on
You
10.
said Brennan, someone of Brennan's stature
That is
Wouldn't have
would
hurt
get his
her.
ass whooped.
No.
And
I
then-
didn't say
Wouldn't have hurt
that.
her.
I said
And
wouldn't
then-
have hurt her.
So
That's
you could have
different.
said someone of mine and Brennan's stature wouldn't
That's
have hurt
also
her.
correct.
Because
I
we are the
agree.
same, Keenan.
I agree.
We are very out of all the people on this podcast. Who are the closest sized human beings?
That's also
All
true.
I will say is,
like,
That's
and
true.
we're gonna get back to the topic at hand. We're gonna get back to the topic at hand.
you did it.
It's true.
At the end of the day, you could be 190. You could weigh more than me. It doesn't matter how much you weigh. I'm just saying, I am better put together.
Keenan.
And
I
here's,
feel as
and
though
here-
there's a
and here's
different
the
way
thing,
to word that.
Maybe, but Brennan also said this. Brennan also said this before. He sat there and tried to say me, I can out push up you, I can out ab roll you, and we had this
Goddamn,
contest
Brennan.
before when we was in
I'm
New
very
Mexico.
competitive.
I
I'm
see.
very
And
competitive.
what happened there?
No, you won. I'll give you that.
Next question.
I would
Oh,
also.
I'm sorry.
Wait, but how does wait? I don't understand.
so let
wait,
me-
hold on a
let me-
second.
let me answer the
No,
question.
for a second.
We're
For a
off
second.
topic.
How does that
Brennan,
have
Brennan,
to
we're
do?
off topic.
You're like, I'm
Brennan,
bet.
Brennan, we're off topic.
So I just gotta take
Yes,
another shot
yes,
and just sit
yes,
here?
Yes.
Fuck you, Keenan.
You just took mad shots at me. I just ate it.
I just said. I just
Wow.
rebuted what you said, and then you showed another shot, and I just gotta sit here and take it.
Yes.
I didn't. It wasn't a shot. It was the truth, right?
Just
what I
like
said was the
those-
truth.
Just like
Right?
those women
Like-
had
No.
to take it. See how I brought
Oh
it
my
back.
God.
for y'all?
Transition.
Yeah.
Boom.
See?
Segue.
Okay, so
Back on topic.
I'll say this. I watched the show.
Brennan's like, that phone call's coming in all of a sudden.
I am completely done with this podcast.
Really
right now.
said, "Fuck y'all." When I get this
I'm
bread, it's
completely
over.
done.
I'm
just like I said,
done.
just know that Brennan's my
When
brother,
I
man. I
sell
love
this
Brennan.
show-
Brennan knows I love him, man.
Like, man, like,
no.
oh, it's a party on Brennan's yacht. Like, damn, I didn't hear about that. I bet you did, Keenan. I bet you didn't. That's crazy.
Brennan's my bro,
I'll
man.
invite you, Keenan. I'll invite you.
Thank you, Cam.
Cam's +1.
I love it here.
I appreciate it. Brennan's my brother. I'm just messing with
It's
it.
messy
But
here.
as for me,
Oh my god.
I didn't. This first time I ever watched the show was like we were gonna watch it like that week or whatever, and then Rob hit us with the news, and I was like, oh shit. So now I went into it with the eyes of after now, like knowing what this guy's done, and what we kind of talked about too was like, is the writing now where he's coming from writing wise,
Yep.
was it put in there because that's who the fuck he is?
Yep, I wholeheartedly agree
Yeah.
with that statement. I feel like a lot of creepy people write creepy stuff because you're writing what you know. So yeah,
Rob. I mean,
Creep.
Yeah, no, I mean, we definitely talked about that, and I feel like, and it was like Keenan said, the similar situation. I just seen his name in the news recently, and his name stuck in my mind because I was like, oh, I've read this guy's stuff before. That sucks. Guess I'm never going to finish that kind of thing. And we sat down to watch the show, and literally across the credits comes created by, written by, and I hit pause and texted the group like, hey, we should know about this. We had a discussion at that point about, whether we'd still do the show. We decided to do it, but like Keenan, I kind of went into it with that in mind. And I mean, even at the very premise of the show, of this, basically the opening scene of this young woman coming to this castle, looking for knowledge,
oh God, sorry.
and a much older man with this forbidden knowledge decides
my
to teach it to her,
God.
and her payment is eventually that she marries him and becomes the wife.
Yeah.
Killed.
And so that sticks out to me. And so I don't think the show is bad. But is it good enough after 4 episodes for me to continue watching it, knowing what I know? It's not. And for me. And if I were in Cameron or Brennan's shoes, and this was something I'd invested a lot of time in, and I mean, that's a fair point, Brennan, that a lot of people worked on this show. And that's something that these women have brought up too, that they don't want to punish the other people that have worked on this. Letterers, artists have put a lot of time, blood, sweat, and tears into these works that are, that he's not involved with. But for me, there were several times watching the show where I couldn't, the suspension of disbelief was broke. It was
Yeah.
broken.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, I feel like I can see this guy sitting in his front of his
Yep.
computer typing out these
Yeah.
words. And I couldn't enjoy the show because of that. Now, that's my personal take from it. So would I still recommend this show, even after what I thought was, if I'm being just objective, a pretty good first 4 episodes? I would say no. It's a no for me. There's so much other content out there that I could be watching. It sounds like they're coming out with another series that I've read Netflix is like, after this 4th season, this guy's not involved with the show anymore. He's not involved with the
Yeah.
spinoff.
Yeah.
I'll catch that one. Because Castlevania predates this guy's involvement. It's bigger than him. And if there's another Castlevania project, I'll check it out. But this particular series, it's a no for me.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm kind of with Rob in the sense of, I also too, when I watched, I was kind of like, man, it's cool. But then I from Cam and Brennan, they're both like, nah, man, season 2 is where it goes off. Season 3 is
Honestly,
like,
for me, it didn't get good until after the first season. Like after
Yeah.
those first 4
Yeah.
episodes, I was kind of like, man, this is okay. I'll try the second season.
Same thing.
And
We
then I was
talked
like,
about
oh,
that.
this is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Me and
So-
Cameron talked about that. Like, at first, I was like,
The first 4
interested, I
was like,
guess.
okay. Like it ended
like, I like-
weird and
Yeah.
The first 4 episodes, I was like, I think I like these characters. That's kind of how I felt it. I was like,
Yeah.
I like the way that they're real. That's what I like. It's like, fuck this shit. Like that's
Yeah.
kind of their vibe. Like
Yeah.
throughout the whole thing, I'm like, you don't see characters who feel like modern day characters in like weird mystical places like this very
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I liked about it.
So let me ask you let me ask all you guys kind of a controversial question then, in the sense of like, I guess controversial, but like, if it was an anime that you love, for instance, his anime is Demon Slayer. I would say probably mine
I
is
love
too.
Demon Slayer.
If it's anime that you're like, that's your biggest thing. I know Cam and Rob are Star Wars guys. I know Q. You said what's your favorite like right now, like a Jujutsu Kaisen or Demon Slayer 2 or
Yeah, Mars Red. Yeah.
Mars Red. If it came out that the writer had something either similar or something went through something, would you be able to still be like, after investing that first season or so, would you be able to be like, damn? And the movie, if it's Demon Slayer, right?
Oh,
we
God, why
watched
would
the
you do
first
that?
season and the movie. Would you be able to continue? Because I'm saying it's like, I know let me ask you this. Like, we brought the R. Kelly thing got brought up before. When R. Kelly got brought up, I remember when this stuff happened when the tape first dropped. A lot of people still listen to the music until the documentary came out. When the documentary came out, people were like, all right, motherfucker, now we got the whole gist of this shit. You're done.
Yeah.
But he put out mad albums. Step in the Name of Love was still supported by damn near everybody black. It was at every wedding, and they still supported it. Can you still support something like your favorite anime, the writer pretty much, or even did something legal technically? Technically, this is not illegal, but you still support it.
I'm sorry, I keep being like, yes. I just keep making noises. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you can go ahead, Roxy.
I mean, I was making noises because I'm not sure.
Right.
I mean, with the R. Kelly thing, I just would like to point out most of the people that were still supporting R. Kelly were older black people. You know what I mean? Like, it was older black people
That's
that
true.
have been
That's
like,
true.
they're like, we love him for 30 years and he's doing it.
But I don't gotta be in the sense of R. Kelly, because
I just wanted to point that out. Like,
Yeah,
it ain't
yeah.
all of the youth. It was
Yeah,
just
you're like,
the old, yeah.
don't put it on our age
Yeah,
bracket.
I'm like,
That ain't our age bracket. That's y'all motherfuckers.
So like, yeah, okay. I think it's the same thing. Like I was saying, like, and it just sucks to say this because I don't want to seem like I'm putting abuse on a spectrum, but there are definitely things that are worse than other things.
Right.
So like R. Kelly, that was abuse. Like, you are physically abusing, you're pedophiling. That's not a word,
Yeah,
but he
and
was
power.
pedophiling.
It was multiple things.
Power, all of this
All
stuff,
that stuff,
kidnapping.
yeah.
So it's like, I'm done with you completely. But if it's like, I'm trying to bring an example, like Aziz Ansari, like that whole thing, like where it wasn't like, this is abuse, but this is weird. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna lie and say I don't still listen to his stuff, because it was like, you were doing some weird shit. That was some weirdo, creepy stuff, but like, it was not unconsensual.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was just weird
Yeah.
and creepy. So I think it would just kind of be that thing, like, what was the thing that you did, and also what was your reaction to the thing that you did? Because like, in this guy's situation, I'm still not like taking away from what he did, but like, the fact that he is willing to come talk to the women, address the situation, that's big compared, because a lot of people will just like act like they didn't do anything and act like, and they won't even speak on it. So I think all of that kind of factors into it, and also how much I love it. So like, yeah, Demon Slayer, it would be like you know what I mean? Like, if it was something like this, I'm not gonna lie, I would still watch it. I wouldn't be posting about it like, yeah, watch Demon Slayer, but I would sneak and watch it because like it's still a good show. Like, it's, you know, it's this is such a difficult conversation.
It's tough.
It is.
It's so difficult.
Q.
At this point in entertainment, it's like throwing a rock in an ocean and trying not to get it wet.
Oh,
Yo.
I'm just
yeah.
like, who
For real.
isn't molesting somebody? Who isn't
Yo.
grooming somebody? Because until they're found out, like Bill Cosby, it took
Ugh.
decades before they figured out he was doing this, and we were loving his ass.
Yeah.
So it's just, I'm like, it's just a part of the industry now. I don't know. And so you wouldn't be able to watch anything. You wouldn't be able to be entertained by anything if you would let this stop you from watching it. And like we were saying, there's a lot of contributors to shows. It's not just it's not that singular individual. They created this all by themselves. Yeah, cancel that shit. If you did this by yourself, we're gonna cut your ass off by yourself.
Get 'em
But
out
we don't
outta
want to.
here.
Yeah, not, you know, all these people are just without jobs, ruining whole families because you was a fucking creeper. So I mean, that's what I was saying. I would still recommend the show because the ratings are up. Those people get to keep working. Just scoop his ass to the side.
Yeah, you get to pull him up, and technically the show can still go on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's just tough. I mean, I will lead into the another question in a second. But yeah, if it's like if it's on a level like you said, it's kind of like weird. It's like abuse is like on a. I guess you kind of have to put it on the spectrum. It's like if it's as deep as something like that R. Kelly did, it's just like, bro, like when it came to the music, you started going that deep. It's like, bro, I can't even listen to the music because a lot of his music is for, you know, a certain time.
Yeah.
And when you're gonna do something, so it's like I can't even think about that when it's like I feel like you wrote for those people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, I mean, because it's even like or you look at like a Woody Allen, like Annie Hall was a great
Yeah.
movie, but then you start looking at his other stuff, and it's like every movie revolves around him dating a woman like 30 years younger than
Yes.
him,
Yeah.
like bare minimum.
Yeah.
And so like, yeah, he made good movies, but again, it goes back to like you can see like basically. Not necessarily, again, not crimes,
Right.
but what he's accused of is in the artwork. And for me, it's
Yeah.
hard to make that separation.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, if it came down to like, God, that would suck. But if something came out about George Lucas and Star
Oh
Wars,
my
like that
God.
would be just like awful.
Yeah.
Like if I were Cam, I'd be wearing some longer sleeves, covering up the tattoos.
Oh, you got some.
But like, I can see where Q's coming from, where it's just like, I don't know that I could, because especially something like Star Wars, there's so much of it that means something very deep to me.
Yeah.
And like, so I in some ways helps me address the ways I attack the problems in my life. Like it's
Yeah.
such a deep meaning for me that like I don't think I'd be able to put it away completely. I would stop fucking talking to people
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
We're
But
on the same.
I mean, it's just, but I don't know that I could put that away forever. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. That's tough.
It's hard.
And what you said earlier, like, if they came back and like you say, he's making an effort to talk to them and like have the discussion, right? Let's have this discussion and I guess even work on a situation and maybe become a better person. I'm not saying I'm
Yeah.
not sure if that conversation's even gotten that deep yet, but he's open to have that conversation. When you see if a creator has done that, could you be like, all right, since it wasn't technically illegal. And he's willing to have a conversation. Can I now look at it a little bit different, or like if I can see that he's trying to make an effort to change, and they're saying the women that are coming forward are saying we don't want to cancel him. This is not what we're doing here. Do you follow their lead? Like, okay, even the woman that this happened to, they're not saying cancel them. So why would I cancel them? Do you think that's fair also?
It's so hard because I'm also like a woman and like in it and like I just even though they're saying it like it's still just that but like it did affect you. You know what I mean? Like even though you're cool with it, there are opportunities that you're legit not getting anymore because of this. So it's
Right.
like I said before, like because it wasn't terrible, I wasn't saying cancel him anyway. But I'm not going to be looking for his work. It's kind of
Right.
that. Like, I'm not going to go out of my way. Like, if I see it, cool. I'm not going to go out of my way. And, like, I wouldn't be promoting his stuff or anything like that. But I don't think he should be judged or punished, whatever, social jail, social
Trial.
prison.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
But compared to, like, a Cosby. Like, Cosby definitely, like, yo, let's throw some stones at him, point at him in the street. But, like, this is more so just like, bro, fuck you. Like, come on, man. Like, so it's all so weak. Like it's just so sticky because it's also like I don't want to make it seem like I'm like you could treat women like shit and then there's no consequences. Like there definitely needs to be consequences, but like what should those consequences be?
I tell you.
Yeah.
That motherfucker. You need to treat his ass like a fucking gynecologist. We all need gynecologists, but they need to be a nurse in the room. Nigga, you don't need to talk to nobody
there we go.
without
like
supervision.
I agree with that. Like
wait.
put procedures in place.
I didn't know that. So
Yeah, if it's a male gyno, there's always a female in there, and that needs to
I know
happen anyway. I think a lot of men,
Across
and
the board, yes.
especially white men in this industry, like let's just be real, they get away with a lot of stuff. So like, there should not be a situation where he's able to do that.
Yeah.
Like there should be systems put in place to where it's like, yo, you don't get to reach out to talent. You don't get to say these things to these women. You don't get to act like you're going to be able to give them that stuff. Like you just write and shut up. Like you don't get to don't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
A company Slack
Yeah.
account. You only talk to these bitches in Slack.
In Slack, so we can see. Don't send no memes neither, bro. You just type no memes, no gifts,
nothing.
You type words.
I know that
only.
motherfucking gift meme right. You trying to be slick, trying to
Yeah.
slide some shit through.
I think that would be the best solution. Like, yeah, you don't now your power's gone.
So you're saying in that particular instance for somebody like that, now that's what should be happening with them. In the
Yeah.
sense it's like, say, all right,
I
this should
agree.
pretty much have either like
Yeah, some type of like censorship to
Yeah.
who they're able to talk to and who they're able to
Now
do
we
that.
watching you, and if you do it again, we're done
A
with you
liaison. Your ass
completely.
need a pervert
Yeah.
liaison.
Yes,
A
there we go.
pervert liaison.
I love it.
That is
PL.
It's going to be a new entertainment industry job,
Yes.
honestly.
But
Yes.
I honestly think they should have that just across the board. Like there just needs to be more things put in place so that like this type of stuff doesn't happen. Okay, like the Louis C.K. stuff. Like
Yeah.
I know it's
Yeah.
like he's been trying to come back like a lot of that could have been avoided if there was somebody else. Like somebody else needs to be in that green room.
Yeah.
Like it just does not need to be these people here. There doesn't need to be situations where like it's that accessible for you to abuse your power. And also I want to say this publicly, fuck him. Like I know a lot of people are like, he didn't do. No, he did. Like fuck him, and I'll fight you.
So, I mean, so let's talk about this then. Can and should you separate the art from the artist?
Sorry, I almost choked on water.
Cute. Because this is where I think this is where a weird line is going to be probably with a lot of people and a lot of hypocrisy, to be honest. Like I think a lot of times we'll say like, yeah, this person, and then all of a sudden it's like, but you support so and so. It's kind of like, well, fuck you. Like that's
Yeah,
you know.
it's. I guess it's a case by case, which I feel horrible saying that. There was a particular artist on Instagram. I won't say his name because I just left it alone and I don't know what panned out with it. But it
was
came
he like
out
a drawing artist? Like
yeah.
I think I know you're talking
he was
about.
a visual artist.
Yeah.
So it came out. All these women said, you know, he was sending dick pics and yada yada yada. And so I was down for his art. I loved it, and it was hilarious. And so when I heard that shit, I was like, nah, dude, you just a fucking pencil pusher. Literally, we draw pictures. You're not doing shit special. You're not curing cancer. And he was sending these women and shit unsolicited. I'm like, it's bitches out there like that stuff. Go find those bitches.
I never understand that. Like, that's the part that always makes me mad. Like, why don't you just give that to people that actually want it? And that goes back to, like, it's not about the sexual gratification. It's about the power.
Exactly. Because I was going to say, it's whole communities for that. Like, you can live in your freedom.
Yes.
Like, you want to seek out the people that
go to
mind
Fat
your
Life.
Business. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all perverts too.
But yeah, so it's kind of hard. In that situation, it wasn't hard for me to separate. I was like, I've been following you about 2 years, and the type of art you were doing, which was on the spectrum of what you were doing.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I didn't have to pull straws. You fall in the vein of that. I'm gonna cut you loose.
But do you feel like you said, it is case by case? Because in some cases you guys probably can't. You be like, but this is not necessarily. I can separate. Like I know this is probably controversial. What you just said earlier about Cosby. Like for me, I will still watch A Different World. A Different World is the reason why.
In it.
But I mean, he's the creator of it.
Yeah.
And it's like I went to a black college because of that. To me, Cosby, before I knew about all this, he's one of the greatest storytelling comedians of all time, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
As a storytelling comedian, I was going to his work to see, like, damn, how does this dude really paints one of the best pictures in the history of comedy. You can close your eyes and you're like in the room with him, like me and my brother Russell or whatever. And it's like, for me, it was like shit. I was actually still able to like listen to that album. I was still able to watch the Cosby Show. I was still able to watch A Different World. But yeah, in some other cases, I was looking at Cosby. When I see him, just kind of like, brah, like, I still can't look at him the same. It's not like I'm like, it's whatever.
Right.
But I was still able to look at some of his art.
Yeah.
Because he's created not just black classics, he's created like a lot of classics to where how we started to look at either black families or like a lot of us, like I said, A Different World was the reason why I went to Alabama State. And you know, if it wasn't for that show, I probably wouldn't even know about black colleges like that until I got older. So I mean, I guess that's just one example of why I can I feel like you said, it might be case by case.
It's different.
Because like this particular guy, right? What's his name again?
Warren Ellis.
Warren. It's like when Robert and I were talking, it's like I don't gotta watch this shit ever again.
Yeah,
No.
you didn't have a connection.
There's
with
no
it.
connection, so it's easy. Like even when people come to cancel, a lot of times they cancel stuff that they didn't really have a connection to.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? But it's very difficult to cancel something that you, like you said, with Star Wars or something like that, or whatever the case may be. You have this connection with probably your whole life, and it might even help who you identify as. And then now this thing comes out, it's kind of like, damn, can I separate that? Would you any of you guys be able to separate? Is it like maybe an artist that you can be like, but I still kind of listen to or watch?
I think it's like you said, it's case by case, because like once again I'm in the nerd, because so I've seen a lot of these cases like with people that I know.
Yeah.
And so like I've had to like disconnect from people I know because they've done things. So like for me, and that sucks. Like that's like it you know, I ain't gonna go deep into it, but like it was one that happened like a year or two ago, and the dude it came out that he was like almost molesting. Like it's just so weird with language, so I'm trying to make sure I'm saying it right. Like because he wasn't R wording, but he was like manipulating and doing this stuff, and then also unsolicited dick pictures and stuff like that. And it's like, this was my friend. And so it's like, I had to cut that friend off because like I don't want to be associated personally with somebody doing that, but also like professionally I don't want to be associated with somebody like that. So like that's something I think about too. Is like if I'm out here like, oh, Castlevania is great and it's great and it's great. Now people are associating my brand with this abuser. So it's like it's not just me separating it just from the artist. It's like my brand is also part of what I'm watching and stuff like that. So it's hard. And I think I just go back to what we said earlier. I'm just not gonna tell, like, if it's something like this where it's like he wasn't physically attacking somebody, wasn't physically doing anything, wasn't that, maybe I can still kind of enjoy it. But when it's anything sexual related, I'm cutting you. Like, I'm completely cutting you off, especially like the unsolicited dick pictures. Like, I'm not touching you with my dick, but I'm putting some, like I'm making you uncomfortable sexual. And I think it also just associates with people's traumas too. So that's why it's case by case. For sure. Because
Absolutely,
like if you've been manipulated multiple times and like that's your thing, like this is gonna impact you way more than it would impact somebody like, like us. Maybe that's not a thing that hurts us as much. So I think we're all gonna eventually be hypocrites though. We're all hypocrites.
That was I mean, you have a example, Rob?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely times where I have been able to separate the art from the artist, and somebody has been, it's come out like that they've been bad to people in their life, but like sometimes you look at the work and it's just like, well, fuck, like if whether it's been a part of my life for so long or the work is so good, it can be very hard to throw that away. Like even when I listen to like the Beatles per se, but you go back and you're just like,
he said the N word, yo. I was like, John Lennon, yo, come on. Why?
I know, and it's like, but like he's written some really beautiful music, and it's so hard to be like, well, am I going to throw all that away because of this mistake? And then you start justifying it, and it gets very difficult. And like you said, I think at some point everybody's going to be a hypocrite. Everybody's going to find something. I don't feel like there's a way. I feel like for all of us, whether or not like there's a line we draw somewhere, somebody's going to be like, well, what about this person that you still watch or you still listen to? And it's like,
you can never get away with it because it's not me condoning Cosby at all. I don't fuck with that at all. But it's like I said, to me, like a different world. And even the Cosby Show, like I was just like growing up, that show, there's so much nostalgia to that. But it's just like you said, it's like, but for him, I feel like that shouldn't mean I condone or anybody condones anything. It's just like, like you said, it's such a hypocritical thing at times. It's
but you do know that you won't support this motherfucker getting back on the road like he wanted
like
to.
you're not gonna go. Yo, I'm not. If you pay for that, it's over.
Tickets to his tour.
Right.
That'd be totally different.
But
that's a lot.
But the thing about it is, people are though.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're gonna want to hear. They're gonna want to hear because even when this was going on, you got to remember, Cosby was on the road still.
Yeah, he had a couple shows and made jokes about it.
And he was killing still in the sense of like ticket sales, and you people were picket signing, but inside people were
they're laughing, turning up.
Exactly. So it's like you said, it's a slippery slope. It's like people want to say something, but it's just like at the end of the day, all these people still have fans. Damn near every single person that we talk about, they still have fans that will still support something that they're doing.
And they get more. Like, that's what's so fucked up. Like,
Sometimes
they get
they
more when they do the fucked up thing. And it's like, what? So that's why, like, I don't want to say this, but like, cancel culture is not necessarily real. You know what I mean?
It's an existential kind of thing because nothing really happens of it.
No.
Like, everyone's mad at you on Twitter for a few weeks and then
the people that are mad at you a lot of times are not even your real fans.
They weren't watching you anyway. And then people start giving you more.
And the people, as you said, the people who can cancel you, like, it's easy for me to say, like, cancel Harry Potter when I've not experienced it. I'm like, I don't need to experience it. J.K. Rowling's a controversial figure now. And it's kind of like, well, you of course cancel it. But I'm not someone who's as deeply into it because I have friends who are like, they live and die by it.
Yeah, no, that's a great example.
And it's like, it's a good piece of work and it's a very, like...
I hate her so much. She just needs to shut up.
Yeah,
like,
are you a Harry Potter fan?
Stop tweeting things.
I love Harry Potter. Like, I love Harry Potter. So, like, that's a perfect example. And now I'm getting mad again because it's like, yo, shit, this is a huge thing. And it's been, like, since I'm a little kid, I've been in this thing, and you just
And they're good books. They're good pieces
so
of work.
Good. But then, like, same thing, like, you're reading through, it's like,
so for you, just like, you just shut the fuck
yo,
up.
just shut up.
You
Like,
just have to
stop talking. Just stop talking. No one cares about your opinion. Just stop talking.
And like I had a teacher, I think Kim, you might have had the same guy, Robert Thompson at Syracuse, but he had this thing where he talked about like when you look into like art. Like people analyzing art, like so many times will be like, oh, this person's trying to say this with their art. And the artist will be like, I didn't put that in there. And he's like, honestly, sometimes an art making a piece of work, like a piece of artwork, is like taking a drug test. Like you may not want to put the drugs in that piss test, but it will show up all the same. It will be in there.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you have those things in your life, if you live a certain way, it's going to find its way into your work, whether it's
Yeah.
consciously or subconsciously.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I guess we can go into, I guess, to this last part of it, and I guess it kind of like all intersects. So yeah, she's
Made
like,
my
"Oh
heart,
shit."
this made my heart hurt. I was like, we
I
gonna
know,
come here
right?
talk about
Shoot,
some
I gotta go
animation.
punch
Yeah.
this bag.
But
We got to have you back for another episode.
Yeah.
That's way
Yes.
more fun.
Yeah.
Oh my
Q
God.
as well, of
Can we
course.
talk about
you know.
Inuyasha?
We we can talk about the war and Inuyasha in the sense of like the beef between it, but no, we want to bring you on to have a both of y'all back on the tap, like a fun episode. Absolutely.
Palate cleanser.
I'll even apologize for bringing you on to such a heavy episode.
No, this needs to be talked about, and
Right.
it's so heavy in the anime community. Like this is definitely needed. I just, Lord.
but I
So
guess
after this episode, I'm gonna go back to my militant men.
so. Like, I guess it's like kind of the last portion to wrap this up, and it kind of intertwines with all this stuff. It's like, does your view on a piece of art change after you find out something controversial about it? Like, if you whatever, it's like, does that view change? Can you like? I guess it goes back into separating the art from the artist. It's like with the Harry Potter thing you were saying. It's like, when you watch these movies now, do you be like, this bitch?
Yes, it's just, like you said. What it suspends the disbelief.
Yeah.
Yeah, like once you know, and you can't unsee it. It's like, yo, I see how you. There's only one black person in here. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I see how you like you know the mug like the whole ideology and the separation of stuff. Like I'm seeing it now, and I can't unsee it. So that's why like I think a lot of artists would benefit from just shutting the fuck up. Like, just we don't need your opinion all the time. We don't need to know your belief systems. Like, sometimes just as an artist, create the art, put it out there. Like, we don't need to know this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, just please be quiet because you're ruining things for people. So yeah, but it's just like I can't, once I see the thing, I can't unsee it. And now I'm super analytical, so like I'm analyzing all of it unintentionally. I'm like, oh, there goes the racism. Like, there goes the homophobia. There goes the transphobia. You know what I mean? Like, it's more blatant, and people. I wish they would just stop.
You?
I feel like I want to puke.
Yeah.
So I'm like, now I'm analyzing everything I ever
all this
watched.
stuff.
So I'm just like, every musician I've ever listened to, because when you said it, I don't know why Eric Benet popped in my head. I'm like, that woman be.
What he do? Oh, come on, Q. He hit Halle Berry.
You know, everybody. Let me not say that, because I would just be speaking and I'm like, I
Oh,
don't think she
no.
should come back.
Yeah,
But I'm just like, everything. That's why I said you
Regretting
can't think
coming
about
on
it
the
too
show.
Oh, I ain't coming back.
Everybody that I've ever enjoyed, I'm like, what the fuck did you do? When is he gonna come out?
Yeah.
So I just enjoy it till I can't anymore.
Yeah.
That's the best
That's
I
a
can
good
do.
philosophy.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like, okay, now I'm done with this. Just like men, you know.
Yeah, it was a moment in the
Move
sun.
on.
Yeah.
You ruined it. Just fucking threw it all away.
Man.
Time and a place.
Damn, Eric Benet. Now I gotta take you off my God.
Off the playlist.
Yeah, man. I don't even want you on there. No
I didn't know.
more.
I know he was. I know he had some
Well,
issues,
yeah,
but I didn't know
he was a sexaholic.
sexaholic. But I didn't know he was putting his hands on women.
No,
too?
that's probably right. I got
Oh,
him
okay.
twisted. It was
I know
somebody.
Wesley
That's why I say
Snipes
it's all
did.
bleeding
Oh, did he?
together.
Oh, really?
He like messed up Halle Berry's eye, I think. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Or man, god damn it. We can't have nothing. Can y'all just
Nothing.
stop?
But that's what we talked about earlier in the show. Was like, if we sat there and did a deep dive on every single, especially every entertainer,
Everybody's a piece
we
of shit.
can't have. We're not gonna. There's gonna be something that we can find. I'm sure, whether it's misogyny, whether it's abuse, whether it's manipulating, grooming, like you said, child molestation, all that stuff. It's like there's gonna be something in there, and it's just like I guess Q is like, just enjoy it until you
Till
can't.
you can't.
Until it,
Yeah.
until yeah.
Fuck around and be going to the club, listen to ukulele music.
Hey, I play ukulele.
That motherfucker raped somebody and he did this. Can't
Oh
listen to
God!
nobody. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say, like, a bright spot is because more of this stuff is coming out. I have noticed more people are being conscious. So I will say, like, moving forward from this point, I don't think we're gonna have as many instances as the stuff that we've seen before, because like people are scared, and I'm happy that they're scared. Like people are moving way more with thought and consciously. Like sometimes even when I go hug comedians, they're like, "Hey, okay, this is cool. Okay, we're doing this." Like, and it's weird, but I like it. Like, yeah, be scared. Yeah, you better not tell. You know what I mean? Like that needs to be there, and I'm happy that it's there.
Brennan flashes back to the moment she said, "Look at my titties in the early."
And he
days."
didn't look.
But she told you.
I
That was
told you it's
I did not look.
consensual.
In an anime episode, that
I'm
would be
looking
the
straight forward.
flashback. That
Yeah.
would be
Yeah,
like,
that was it. When the time I didn't look.
But see,
Yeah,
he's making
Eye
really
contact,
good.
yeah.
Hey, good shit, man.
thank you. I appreciate
She
it.
was like, could you pull my back of my shirt down? Brendan was like, it's on the camera that she said
I did that.
to do that.
I definitely did that.
Just letting everybody know.
Good shit, Brendan.
Yeah, you know.
He said he ain't getting
You
caught
ain't
up.
gonna have no article about me.
Brendan's like, nah, fuck all that.
Like I might say some dumb stuff every once in a while, but I ain't never gonna do nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Right.
that's the best way to be. Like, I think that's just the
Yeah. Because after
Word,
a while,
I
you know,
can't
everybody
think.
has an assistant in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Whatever. I say after a while, it's just going to be a thing. Everybody has that pervert liaison. It's just
Yeah.
my
Get you a
assistant, here's my
PL.
liaison.
A PL.
Did she say you could do that?
Let me
Check.
tell you something. That
A
shit.
PA and a PL.
It ain't gonna pay shit. Why? It's gonna pay you $30,000 a year, maybe. And I'm like, I can't do this shit. And
You
that
just keep
job ain't
rotating them. You know what I'm saying?
entry level
Hollywood.
position.
Yeah.
level position.
This sounds horrible.
Sexual. Okay, sorry. Entry level. Okay, sorry.
Oh yeah.
That's not.
She's
Brendan-
doing too much over here. y'all.
You brought me. Y'all brought me. Y'all knew what it was.
I have nothing to do with it.
All right. I guess do you want to just, I guess, wrap it up on that and you know, I guess we can just answer real quick. Does a viewer does your art change? Does the art change after you know the controversy of what I guess associated with the person that might have created it? I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess you can't unsee it. I don't know. Some people sometimes I guess I feel like maybe time might make you forget, or just you can watch it not with the same lens anymore, or not as deep as it was before. But yeah. I mean, I feel like if it's something that crazy to you, you'd be like, you watching it and this person pops on screen, you'd be like, nigga, I can't just.
Can't rock with it.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah.
Like you said, you can probably continue watching the movie or whatever the case may be, but it's kind of like I'm watching you
Yeah.
type energy when you might be even watching that particular that particular thing. So I guess it kind of does change a piece of art. I would say it does. I can't say when it's something that big that happened and then I rewatch something that it doesn't change it. When I heard something, you know, whether it's racist. I mean, I guess I kind of knew Clint Eastwood was pretty racist, but I was just like, when I watched it with him there, I'm just like, he meant that.
Yeah, that wasn't fake. That was real.
Yeah. He had to pull it out of his
Something.
ass. Like, it was like, that was just like, oh, I got this in the pocket. It's been in the pocket since fucking 1965.
I'm
You know what I'm
ready.
saying? It's like, yeah. So that's how I feel about it. Rob?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I think it also sometimes comes down to a question of how deeply involved this person was with the project. Like, I love the movie Seven, which has Kevin Spacey in it, who, you know, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's like,
God damn it.
but like he also plays the villain in the movie
Yeah.
and like is only in a small portion of it. And but it does again break that suspension of disbelief. But when he comes on, I'm just like, oh fuck this guy.
Yeah.
But the rest of the movie is
It's
still
so
so
good.
good.
Yeah.
And so I guess for me, it's like, how big of a part does this person play in this? You know, like, how good is this thing? You know, how deeply does it impact my life? It's hard to not bring that with you, though, after learning about it. It feels like one of those things like you can't unknow. And, you know, again, being as big of a Harry Potter fan as I am, and it's like I haven't gone back to watch the movies, I don't think, since watching that or finding that out about the controversy with J.K. Rowling. And
Is that recent or no? I don't know.
She,
don't know.
she
Last, like,
won't.
couple
She
years.
keeps doing
She-
it.
That's
the
the thing. Is there's like a
Oh.
periodic
She
thing where she
keeps
keeps tweeting about
That's why I'm
shit.
like, shut. Oh, don't get. Come
yeah,
back.
I unfollowed her a while ago, so
won't
luckily it
shut
hasn't
You
been
look
popping
confused,
up in the
Brennan.
timeline.
What's
but-
wrong?
Yeah.
What happened with J.K.
She
Rowling?
won't shut up.
About what?
She'll say some homophobic stuff.
Yeah, very
and then she'll be like,
transphobic and
My
homophobic
bad.
statements.
And then she'll come out with some more. And it's every like 2 to 3 months. She'll tweet some shit. Be like, well, what I meant to say was, I'm not saying that they're not women. That's what she said. It was
Yeah.
saying that trans women are not women. And everybody's like, hey, stop saying this. And then she was like, okay, I'm sorry. Then she came back and said it
doubled
again.
She
down.
doubled down on
She
it.
kept
Yeah.
saying it, and it's like,
Yeah.
shut up. What does this even have to do
Brennan's
with you?
having the "Hello, darkness, my old friend"
and,
moment.
she,
like,
and
over
she's
there.
been doing it for like
I read
2
every
or 3
single
years.
Harry Potter's book like 3 times.
See, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For 2 or 3 years.
And I didn't like the movies except for the last 2.
Yeah.
The last 2 were the best.
Yeah, the other
because it was
movies
some
were
action.
Yeah.
Let's go.
But yeah, no. Once you learn it, I think for me,
hate her.
yeah, it's impossible to unlearn, and I guess it's really at that point, like, it's kind of the burden is on the work,
sorry.
and can it carry that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And again, like we've talked about before, it's some of the degrees of how bad this was. And I think there's definitely some things that come out, some people, and it's just like, this is a deal breaker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof.
All right. Well,
Thanks, Keenan, for inviting me.
I can answer it.
I'm about to wrap it up.
Brennan, what
But,
do you think?
yeah.
If you want to, go ahead. I don't care.
No.
Well, I didn't. What
What
were
do
you
you
gonna
think?
say?
Oh, I was gonna say that I'm starting with the man in the mirror.
No, that's
no,
not.
honestly, it was a horrible thing to say. But I'm saying is the Michael Jackson thing.
Yes.
Is
Oh,
that I
come
grew up
on.
on Michael Jackson. I grew up on Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Everything. Like my parents were obsessed with it. Like that's like everything.
Yeah.
Was Michael Jackson. And now like I mean, there's a couple songs I can't let go. I'm gonna keep it real. They still,
Right.
Is it
They're
that
still
one
in
the
the
one you
play-
sang?
Huh?
Is one of them the one you sang?
Man, I tried to sing. I'm not a
Okay.
singer.
Yeah, it was
It was pretty bad. I know. But it's
I knew what you were singing.
good enough to be able to be recognized.
I got
that's
you.
that's a thing.
This sucks.
But
No,
you
but
said
it's
Michael
just-
Jackson. Yeah, you're right. That's a tough one for a lot of people.
Michael
Probably most
Jackson
people.
like was the soundtrack to my childhood. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, am I supposed to get rid of the soundtrack to my childhood because of some stuff I learned after my childhood about this horrible things that he allegedly did?
Like, yeah, and partly, I guess it's like, what associations do you have with that? Does it make you think of your childhood?
Yeah.
Does it make you think of Michael Jackson?
Well, the thing is
You
now
know?
it's both.
Yeah.
That's where the issue is. Now it's both, and it's just like, you know, there's certain songs like "Smooth Criminal." I'm just like, I'm gonna listen to this. Like,
Yeah.
like
Or like if it comes on, I'm not necessarily hitting skip.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
or it's just like, you know,
Speed Demon.
Beat It comes
not-
on.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the thing is, there's such a hard line to walk.
Yeah.
Because it's like the brother is dead. You know what I'm saying? So now anything that I do to support his music is supporting his estate, not like supporting anything he did. So where does that fall into?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just really weird because there's no right answer. But like you could take an approach like some people we know where you just as soon as you hear a hint of something might be wrong with somebody, you won't even talk about it.
Yeah.
And so like I don't know what the right answer is, but I do know that like when I truly love a piece of art, sometimes I have to separate it because you have to sometimes just appreciate art for the art because a lot of times you don't even know who the artist is. You know what I'm saying? Like you could make that same argument about like literally everything around us. Like who designed this water bottle that I carry with me every single day? I have no idea. This person could be molesting children, but because they're on the. But I'm saying though, that's you're drinking
No,
a
but
bottle
that's
of
how
water.
things, that's
put
how
it
the,
down.
the world. It's such we
do it
live in
taste
such
like
a huge
tears?
world.
No, that's
Tastes like tears.
and that's
God
what it
Damn it, Q.
tastes like. Kids? Did she say tastes like kids?
Tears.
Tears.
Oh.
Kids. Oh my god.
Lord.
Innocence. It tastes like innocence. Okay.
It's like innocence dying.
Goddamn
But my point
Ralph.
being, Ralph. But my point being to that point is that, you know, like there have been so many horrible humans in our past that have built so many shoulders that are all these shoulders that we still stand on regardless because people are not just a black or white, good or bad, and it makes it really hard to say like, yo, like we only hold art to this standard. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's only art that is held to the standard. Like you know, like even politicians be messing up and still be in office.
Well, we hate
There's a
them.
Some
guy,
of them.
We
there's
have
a
that
guy
big-
in
we have
Florida
that
right
issue.
now that was
we
like,
hate them so much.
who's the guy in Florida?
Matt Gates. You just
No.
Brennan just
Matt
found out. About this.
Gates.
You
But I'm
just
saying,
found-
but
What
I'm
a
saying
walking,
like,
breathing
terrible.
turd.
but he's still in
Yo.
office.
Yeah.
But that's my point being is just like,
No, I think Kev said it best. Is most of the like if you were a regular person doing this, it would ruin your life, and these people's lives aren't getting ruined, and it's
Yeah.
like why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta start like.
yeah. So
we
it's
gotta
pretty
start stocking them
tough.
out.
It's pretty
Yep.
much just like if the general public decides to put you on blast, then you're in trouble. Otherwise, all good. You know,
Yeah.
like so for me, it's just like a slippery slope because it's like now it's like if I'm gonna take this hard stance and say that every single time I hear something bad about one person that I supported their art or their whatever, now I should research that for every little thing. Like let me go ahead and research who made my laptop. You know what I'm saying?
No, Steve
Yeah.
Jobs is not a. He's a controversial figure too.
That's my point. So if we're gonna do it for one person, we got to do it for everybody. That's all
Watch the
I'm saying. If you're gonna do something, keep that same energy. That's where I'm at.
That's what I said. We wouldn't be able to do
We can't have
anything
shit.
Yeah.
at this time. Yeah.
I mean, most of us is wearing Nike in here.
What
like,
they do?
I mean, they've had some.
I'm literally
I mean,
wearing my
questionable
sweatshops.
stuff.
I'm wearing
Yeah.
Fila's. So
Yeah.
what did they do?
Fila.
That's all I'm
Fair
saying is
level.
that
Yeah, is if you get
digging-
too far into it, it's,
Yeah.
you can never come out of the hole. You would not be
Yeah.
able to consume
Anything.
a lot
Anything.
of forms of media
So-
just because it's so everything's so controversial.
all that to
Yeah.
say, the show is a really good show. You should watch it.
Brendan's didn't buy it. Brendan's recommended it.
I think it's a really good show. I enjoyed it. So
My heart
know these things. I'm happy that you listened to this conversation and are becoming more educated. We should definitely condemn those people, but what does that look like in a way that's congruent across or parallel across all things? We don't have that. So for me right now, it's like I have great art in front of me, and I like to share great art with other people. And it wasn't just him that made it; it was a group of people. So for me,
Yeah.
fuck him. The show's dope.
Okay.
Well, and I think Roxy made a good point is that like now is the way like with social media and that it's harder and harder for people to kind of get away with doing these things. So maybe that's going to create some form of like actual responsibility.
Yeah.
You could argue that things might be getting better, but we don't know because we never
Yeah.
knew how bad they
We're
were. 'Cause we
still
didn't have
living
social
in it.
media.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, and we can wrap it up after this. But I remember I was on set for like I was just doing extra work, so I wasn't like no player, but I was on extra work for a pretty big show that's been running for like 15, 16 years. And when the Me Too stuff was happening, they were on set like it was a joke, and not just men. It was like the woman was like the showrunner and show creator was kind of like, oh, we're not doing the Me Too. I don't want to do that. And it was just like they were just clowning and joking about shit. I was just like, does the deeper people in Hollywood even give a fuck about some of this shit?
I think they're starting to have to just because people are pulling stuff. People like it's starting to hit them in the pockets. Like when it first happened, there was
Once
nothing
it starts
happening.
affecting people's
Oh,
money.
Yeah, that's when they started, and that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like if they kick like him getting pulled off the show, like that's messing with his pockets. Of course he's gonna say something, pulling his
Yeah.
comics. So like
Yeah.
that's
Right,
what
right.
needs to happen. There has to be some type of consequence, and until there is, nothing's gonna happen. Once again, we gotta start stalking people out.
Yeah, it's not lost on
yeah.
me that he didn't reach out to this group until he got his
Exactly.
title
Yep.
pulled off
Yeah.
an image.
Yeah.
I just look at like there's some oil tycoon's son out there just doing whatever he wants, and he's never gonna have any consequences because he's not famous.
If we sock him out, he'll
Yeah.
like.
But I'm just, you know what I'm saying?
I
Just
do
like,
know what
he's
you're
gonna
saying.
buy off every lawsuit. Nobody's gonna care who he is because he didn't make something people love.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
real. That's real.
That's it.
I mean, yeah, and I'm going to tip with Roxy in the sense where people need to catch that fade. That fade need to be right on them.
And then we good.
Yeah. But they're going to still do it. If some people that are too rich, they're going to still do it. Well, let us know in the
Yeah.
comment section, man,
Yes.
about this conversation. Like, join the conversation in the comment section. Let us know what's up. Roxy, you want to drop your stuff? All your Instagram and what you got coming
okay.
up and stuff like that.
Yes, so all of my social media is Roxy Hayes, ROXXYHAZE. I am on Instagram, Facebook, bleh, Twitter, and Twitch. So make sure you follow my Twitch. I'm about to start streaming more on there, so check that out. I'm also, like I said, I write for The Gamer, so check out thegamer.com. I have articles that come out there weekly, so check that out. Also, check out All Def Cannabis and All Def Gaming. We have content consistently coming out. I'd love to have all y'all on there too, so we are definitely going to link up with that. Get my comic book, which is featured in Noir is the New Black. That is available at fairsquarecomics.com. And be on the lookout for my mixtape, Roxy. No, not Roxy Versus. This is another one. I Like You, which is going to be on SoundCloud, all of that stuff. And there's one more thing that I am forgetting. Oh, check out High Dive, which is the app for, what is the app for? Sentai Filmworks. They have an app for like their stuff, so check them out. And make sure to check out Food Wars.
Okay.
Boom.
And Q.
Yeah, so you can find me over on Instagram and Twitter at Gadgets and Geekery. I
Yeah.
also have my artist page. It's Quincy B, just the letter B, draw_ing. So Quincy B Drawing. So I'm back with the shits on those
Hey.
commissions
check it out.
and freelance.
Ooh.
So yeah, just reopened the store with my art on different types of merch. And I'm supposed to be restarting the podcast this summer. At the bottom of the summer, but yeah, so I'll be bringing back the geeky, sexual, and intellectual this summer.
Okay. Thank
Very
you.
cool.
Thank you, Q. Brennan the best on everything?
Yeah, Brennan the best.
Brennan the best on all his social media stuff. Ice.McGowan. Ice is not here, but Ice.McGowan on every single thing. Rob, you got somebody?
Yeah. So I'm not really all that active on social media, so I've been plugging some people. This week, I want you to check out. It's called 11 Brand. 11. They're on Instagram. It's I11EVN Brand. They're a black-owned company. They promote, a lot of anime stuff. They've got some really cool stuff. We actually should be having them coming on the show pretty soon.
Yeah, it's pretty soon. Maybe next week I believe it's next week. They got some really good anime gear that we rocks with. So
Yeah, check them out.
man, I'm
they're on
excited.
Instagram. Give them a look.
all right, I'm Keenan Baker on everything, and we thank you for tuning in to another episode of Animeshun. We out.
Oh wait, hold on a second.
Wait.
You are listening to the
greatest
greatest,
fucking anime podcast
in the entire world. All right, that's it. Now we can go.
Now we out.
Bye.
Oh, that's how
And so anime was solved forever.